How quickly should you and your manager be expected to respond to day-to-day condo or HOA issues? In this video, two of our experts answer that question. Welcome to this HOAleader.com video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Flisco. Today I'm joined by Carrie Dvorsets of Washington, D.C. and Joshua Crute of Florida. And this month we're asking how responsive you should be with your volunteer work and what's reasonable to expect in terms of responsiveness with your manager. The question comes from an HOA leader who asks, anyone have good tips for setting expectations with a community association manager? I ask this because frequently a large number of our communications from the manager start with a greeting of good morning or good afternoon, which sort of creates the expectation that the board is reading the message within 3 to 4 hours of when it's sent. So in reality, we work full-time jobs, many of us. We may not have access to email or the message until very late in the evening or even the next day. And for the manager, it's a full-time job. So I sort of think it's creating an expectation that we're hopping and jumping in response to their messages. So is it okay to have a double standard that board members could take hours or even the next day to respond to a message, while the manager, who's getting paid as a full-time job, is expected to respond quickly? So in this video, we'll address that. Just a note, our experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state. This is intended to provide you with some general guidance you can use when you approach experts in your state. Let's jump in. Joshua, what do you think is reasonable for board members to respond to
Right.
day-to-day business?
Well, I think as a baseline, it's important to remember that managers are professionals and board members are volunteers, and it's a different set of expectations that everyone needs to understand. I think managers should be responding within business hours and usually the same day. But for a board member, if it's not an emergency, it may take 24 or 48 hours for them to respond. And I mean, obviously the context matters. If you have flooding going on and you need to make emergency decisions, then people need to be on the ball, but maybe use a different form of communication for emergencies. So for example, day-to-day things happen on email, emergencies are by text or even a call. Ongoing projects have a Google spreadsheet or something like that. So I think part of it is educating the board because people haven't always been on the board, but then sometimes the managers also forget that the board members are volunteers and that it is somewhat of a service job. And that has to be kept in mind too. So that would be my initial thoughts on it.
Gary, what do you think?
I think all the things that Josh thinks and said, plus with respect to the expectations from the manager may be a paid professional and may indeed and should be expected to respond more timely. But there needs to be, as Josh indicated, a mechanism for emergencies, whether that's an email or a text or what have you. You pay your management company if it's an extra fee, fine, whatever it is, that's the immediate response portal or recipient or medium of communication. With respect to board members and the good afternoon and the good morning, I don't think that, the manager should be lectured associated with how they commence the greetings on their emails, but they should understand and be informed at the commencement of the relationship with any new board that do not expect the board to reply right away. If you expect a same day response, put in bold, asterisk, important, time sensitive. And another thing a board might want to consider doing is an auto reply that acknowledges receipt and cautions the sender for emergencies to not rely on that email address. Those are both setting reasonable expectations and protecting from any allegation that it was not reviewed quickly enough. And the board should finally also consider, and it may not work for everybody, email addresses specific to their role as a director, and even better, a singular email address that may go to all directors in case one is on safari and the others, maybe it's not quite an emergency, but nonetheless requires some timely attention.
Interesting. So good information, Carrie and Joshua. Thank you. Listeners, be sure to click on the link below to watch the additional extended video where Carrie and Joshua offer tips on how to handle things like text calls and what to expect from your manager.